So I'm at the Gentleman's Barber Shop here in Birmingham, in central Birmingham, with Damian. I'm just going to have a quick interview with Damian to find out a little bit about his journey in barbering and where he's going with it. And I have to compliment Damian on his shop. I have to say it's a highly trendy, industrial, kind of cool, urban, gentlemanly shop. So tell me, Damian, where did you start in barbering and what was your inspiration and motivation to become a barber?
I've started my barbering looking out now about 15 years ago. Started in like a unisex hair salon back in Poland, and it was more actually male orientated more than actual women coming in. So it was just actually from the start knowing that I actually want to do more male sort of barbering, more men's hairdressing sort of thing. And then I think that started from there, because it's obviously back in Poland you have to do your college. Well, you have to do a bit of both, but I was more confident when men sort of doing the cuts and fades and all sorts of things like that, but it wasn't actually me that doing the lady side of things, though. Definitely wasn't. So I just knew from the start that I'm going to be a more men's hairdresser, sort of barber. Yeah.
Okay, so you came to England specifically to do barbering?
Well, to be honest, I've started in Poland, so I've done my course over there in college, 3-year college, and then sort of after that, when I finished my college, I went to the hairdressing high school for like a year, so just basically hasn't finished it that completely, and moved over to England to start it pretty much, just getting on a new job and seeing a new side of life, I suppose, is trying new things, so move elsewhere.
So this was your first shop, was it?
This is the first shop.
I mean, this is a massive project for your first shop.
It's taken a long time, yeah. It's obviously nothing's happened overnight, and it's taken like, say, about 13 years. That's how long you've been living in England now. So they started off obviously doing any job, because English was just absolutely poor. So just started off like doing bits and bobs of housekeeping, doing the hotels and working for agencies, and kind of like went back into a bit of hairdressing, working for the smaller barber shops and a lot smaller hairdressers, and and then kind of moved over from there, kind of just, sort of seeing the side of things that are better in here than it is back there. So just sort of improved myself in that kind of way, and worked in a local barbershop for like a good 6 years, established myself quite big with a lot of potential sort of customers and loyal customers, and moved over here and started off with my business partner, Andy, who's just my brother-in-law. He wanted to get out of his business he was doing, and I wanted to start my own barbershop, so we just sort of got in together, and then we started this place.
And tell me the kind of look and the feel that you wanted to create. What was your vision at the beginning?
I think the whole look of a barbershop and the whole barbershop industry is very classy, so just kind of going with more of a classy look and a bit of a modern twist to it, I suppose, like having that industrial gas piping around the shop and just more of a wood work surfaces, and just the whole industrial and sort of classy wooden kind of feel. That's what made me feel like barbering is about, really. Just more classy, yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your style personally. What are you kind of known for? What would a client come to Damian for? What kind of
I'm more classic kind of guy, so more natural, kind of don't try to go into too many outrageous sort of haircuts where you just shave it on one side and keep it the longer on the other side, do the silly colours. No, I'm just sort of keeping it simple, and I think that everyone just going back into it, where everyone just goes into phrases of having the funky styles and going back into those classy looks, because it works with anything really.
Okay. So a hard line wouldn't be your thing?
No,
if you're going to do it.
I mean, I could do it, but obviously just trying to keep it as natural as possible. That's me kind of thing, just keeping it as natural.
And tell me, recently you had a guest spot, a tutoring spot down at the London School of Barbering. Tell me how that came about and how you felt about doing it.
I think that came through to our social network, because I've seen, obviously, this must have seen some bits and bobs that we do on our Instagram page, and I think that's sort of that got hold of us, emailed us, and said if you fancy of taking a judge at the London School of Barbering, and I thought, yeah, that would be a great opportunity, so we're taking it, and it was brilliant, yeah, enjoyed it. It was great.
It must be a testament to your work.
Yeah, seen in a lot of the new potential. Some of the great barbers that definitely could actually come into work here straight away, straight after the course. And but yeah, it was a brilliant experience.
And do you think education and tutorials is something that you're going to pursue in a big way in the future?
I think so, yeah. We try to probably set up like a little bit of a blog of how to do your own hair, or what products to use, and just general things like that. Not so much school. I think we haven't got time much for that because the shop is just very busy. And yeah, probably something that in the future I would like to do something. Yeah, but like I was saying, we'll probably end up doing some kind of a blog on our YouTube channel, which we have set up recently with our official video that was taking up big time as well. But yeah, something that we'll definitely come and do in the future, definitely.
And more coming back in-house, tell me a little bit about the services that you provide here, because I'm kind of looking over at the shelves and you've got quite an extensive range of high quality barbering products, barbering, shaving products and hair products. Tell me a bit about your services and the products that you offer.
Yeah, we do obviously traditional hot towel shaves, which include like a hot steamer constantly going on your face. What we do in the shaves, obviously hot towels and the oils, and pretty much the traditional way that everyone used to do with the hot lava, with the shaving foam, and going with the sort of straight razor, disposable razor, because obviously you can't use the original razor, but you can just obviously sharpen up the strata, which would have been great, but unfortunately you can't. And we do facials, in terms of like exfoliations, sort of like cleansing your skin from, like, you know, close up the deadly pores and so deadly skin. So just that's taken off quite a lot as well. There's a lot of people that like to have the feel more of a like a bit of a spa at the same time. But yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, a lot of people do like that. And we do have quite a lot of people that come in regular every 2-3 weeks, because that's the sort of we recommend the ratios of coming in to get it done. And we also do this, I don't know if you heard, ear singeing, where you get like a cotton bud on the end of a metal rod.
Turkish.
And then that's with traditional Turkish, the kind of like ear singeing, which is obviously burn off the excess, the small tiny hairs on the ears, and actually keeps the ears kind of clean as well.
Okay, so you literally live up to your name as the gentleman's barber. You're kind of trying to give those extra
just a bit extra
luxuries that not every single barber shop in the country gives.
Yeah, can't give it, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of like beauty therapy, because let's face it, a facial is a beauty therapy. How much further down that road do you think you're going to go in order to conduct the luxurious experience?
We'll probably just keep it simple for now as it is. We don't want to take it too far. It's just because it loses that barbering feel, I suppose. So you just want to keep it into, obviously, just a rough kind of, generally rough bits of the experience of a beauty kind of thing within the male industry. Yeah. But try not to take it too far. It's just, it's going to turn into something else, and which, you know, in the end of the day, you want to progress within the company and do new things, but you're going back into your traditional ways of doing your barbering and cutting and shaving and things like that, which that's what barbering is all about, really.
True.
Yeah.
And talking about barbering, what are you loving right now about barbering? What are the real positive things that you say there is?
What I really love, it's the whole barbering industry is getting bigger. It's obviously a barbershop connects, a lot of the barber bash, a lot of the different sort of parties that they're doing. I think that's great. I think that all the barbers get together. I think that's brilliant. There's something that had to be done, things like that. So obviously, in the industry, you want to progress as well. You want to see new things, new things coming out, the new hair products, a shaving range, the whole range. So I think something that the barbering should be really just, you know.
And what would you like to see changed in barbering right now?
Changed in barbering?
Yeah, what negatives do you think that there are and you'd like to see personal improvement with that?
That's a good question. I think it's something that we need. I mean, there's always room for improvements, and I think I don't know, just this, and maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. Actually, I'm trying to think. Actually, there's not much. Yeah. I mean,
regulations. Would you like to see
I think maybe just something that obviously, like I was saying earlier, that you straight razor, that obviously the traditional razor that you couldn't use, they can't use obviously because of the HIV and then all the health and safety reasons behind it. And I think that should be changed. Because if I look at the barbers industry in England, it's totally different than it is back in Poland. There's certain things that would not be allowed to do, like say cutthroat shaves, even if you use disposable razor, would not be able to use that. So the health and safety back there, it's quite strict. I think here the barbering is much better. It's more laid back, I suppose. And I think that was saying, yeah, that the straight razor with the traditional razor, that should be kind of changed. But apart of that, nothing, to be honest. I can't see any negative bits or things. It's obviously how you make out yourself. But apart of that, I think the barbering industry is brilliant. And I wouldn't change it first, not even slightly.
So you've got a very successful barbershop running there, very busy, very well known. Tell me how you go about marketing your business and your shop.
I think we haven't done much marketing ourselves. The only bits of marketing that have we done, it's the social network like Instagram and Facebook. There's a lot of that potential customers that come from that. So as pretty much I should say about 60 to about 70% from a social network. So yeah, it's been taken off like big time. Yeah, it's quite successful.
And is that something you do yourself or do you outsource that?
It's actually my wife does it.
Okay.
I used to do it at the start, but yeah, I don't touch any of that thing anymore. I'm busy in the shop, just sticking into that, looking at the shop floor, and I get a wife and a business partner to look out for things outside, like business side of things. So,
okay. So right now your key focus is just literally
the shop.
Developing and building the shop. How long have you had the shop?
We've had it for about 18, 19 months. Yeah. And it's been, we started off 3, 4 barbers. Now we've got 8 and we'll have 10 in the next couple of weeks. So we have 2 people starting soon. Wow. So yeah, it's been quite busy for the past few months. Yeah. So like I was saying, the social network is just so powerful. It's just taken off big time. Yeah, that's what made us put it on the map. Big, yeah.
Okay. And going to tools, because I know that you actually use some of the American tools alongside the English tools and maybe European tools from Poland.
Yeah.
Why did you choose personally to have American tools in your arsenal?
Because I think personally, the barbering industry is pretty much, we are about, like, England is about 10 years behind with clippers, I should say, because just the power, the kind of like the precision, the blade, the difference obviously style clippers, the overall look at them, and it's just much better. So I think there's always that, obviously Europeans should looking up to the American industry of barbering, so just to see what new things they bring, and I think their clippers are much better. I prefer myself the T-outliner. Yeah. And this T-outliner, I think that's brilliant for shaping around the edges, doing it around the cheeks, and even like shows sort of like skin fades if you do it really tight, and that blends in from the nice and these foils which I use as well. And I think that's a pretty good equipment. So I think everyone should actually have one, any kind of style American clippers. So.
And did you attempt to use American clippers before this, this wave of American clippers came into trend? No,
I mean, I personally just thought clippers are clippers. In the end of the day, it's barber shouldn't blame his tools really. So any sort of equipment that I would do to do decent job, to be fair. And but obviously the equipment's out there to make your job easier. So obviously that's the reason why I was just saying, when you get new clippers in, so obviously new things are coming out, I think you should try it just to see if you actually make your job easier. So it's obviously like when you got Osters, I don't know what they call the big Osters 95. I think they're called
97.
97. Yeah, so
Oh,
they're absolutely they're probably the knife with the butter. I haven't got a pair myself, but I tried it the one time, and they're absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so I think it's just whatever the equipment, and it just makes it much difference. Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say to other barbers considering getting US equipment in their arsenal, US clippers?
Yeah, that's what like. If you're going for like a lot of skin fades and things like that, I definitely recommend Andy's foils. I had a while, foils that wasn't that so good, and I think that Andy's are much better. Definitely T outliner for edging and any kind of sharpening, and that's brilliant. And I think that's the only sort of tools I've used so far, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last question, what's next for the Gentleman's Barbers shop of Birmingham so far?
I really want to say that. Barbershop of the year. I think that's the next step. I don't know, we'll probably try to bring out a new hairline ourselves, seeing what we can bring out to local community, to just see if for our own loyal customers and for any people to see that we can do our own product line. Yeah, I think some of the competitions, taking out to see if we can take on the barbershop of the year.
I would definitely say, based on what I've seen so far, that you'd be in very good. You'd be a worthy adversary to be up there with the top 10, based on what I've seen so far. Good job.
Excellent.
I commend you for what you've done. It's very good.
Thank you very much.
So we're going for barbershop of the year, and what else did you say? Sorry? And the product line.
Yeah, and the product line.
Okay.
And the product line. So we just try to release a couple of hair products, just so obviously in mind of what we're going to do yet. But yeah, something definitely we'd like to do something this year or next year, definitely, to look into it.
Damian, thank you very much for that interview. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Giving me your time and sharing your shop with me.
Thanks very much. Thank you.